Jermell Charlo shows love to Jake Paul. Jake Paul reciprocates and says, let's shut stuff down and do a card together. We're going to talk about that in this here video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe for the latest and greatest in boxing. Let's jump right in the mix. Jermell Charlo had a couple things to say, and we're going to pull that up. And it was retweeted by Jake Paul, but this is what Jermell Charlo had to say on his verified page. He says, and by the way, I uck with Jake Paul and his whole movement. I'm 154 pounds, not the same weight. No intentions on fighting, dude. So from afar, that mother effer, he doing some ish some boxers wish they could do. So Jermell Charlo lets it be known. You know, fans probably try to pit the two against each other. And he says, and by the way, I mess with what he's doing, you know. I ain't had no problem with that. And he's saying he's doing some things that some boxers wish they could do. Jake Paul seen it, liked it, retweeted it. Jake Paul said, this my MFer right here. One of the best looking dudes in boxing and the GOAT. Let's fight on the same card and shut ish down. So, you know, he appreciates the love, and he says they should do a joint card and shut the game down. Now, I don't know how likely that is with, you know, Jermell Charlo's mostly been on Fox and Showtime. Jake Paul, he fought on DAZN before, and recently his last two fights have been on Triller, knockouts, and, you know, it looks like he's doing good business with Triller. So I don't know if that would happen. First, Jermell Charlo is about to fight for Undisputed against Brian Castano, one of the best fights in the game of boxing. My thing is this. There's a lot of people hating on Jake Paul and angry. I've been saying the same thing. I don't even see why. Like, I've seen people blaming boxing's problems on Jake Paul, but that's stupid because a lot of, like I've been saying, a lot of boxing's problems have nothing to do with Jake Paul. Like, Jake Paul can't control what these promoters are doing, you know, and fights not being made. Like, you have just a lot of issues, a lot of ailments in boxing. Like, for example, Ryan Garcia is the mandatory for Devin Haney, but they're not fighting, but they fight on the same platform on DAZN. So how are we going to blame Jake Paul for stuff like that? And that don't even have nothing to do with him, right? If anything, as I keep telling you on my channel, Jake Paul is one of the only people in boxing, or who's competing in boxing. He's one of the people who's actually doing what he says he's going to do. Like, whether you like the competition or not, he says he's going to ice Ben Askren, he's going to ice Nate Robinson, and he's doing that. So that's that. The other thing is, people have this hatred. They just want to see him lose or whatever. You know, some people are even turning into like UFC versus boxing. I'm not even taking it that serious. He's just in his own lane. You see Jermell Charlo, and he's, you know, giving props and stuff like that. My thing is this. The whole thing is he's branding himself. There's a lot of guys that should be taking notes. This is what I said, and now Jermell Charlo is kind of saying the same thing. There's some guys that should be taking notes in terms of, okay, like, how is it that you've been boxing your whole life, right? And you have true skills. If you don't think Jake Paul has true skills, but he has the skill to navigate through this digital space in 2021. So if you have true skills, maybe you should step up your promotional game. Now, the thing is, not everybody is a trash talker. Not everybody likes to do that. Not everybody is good at doing that. You know, if that's not your niche, you have to find your niche and what works for you. Jake Paul's like kind of finding his lane. What is this? He kind of finding his own lane, and he's, you know, he's doing what he says he's going to do. So that's basically what it is. Him and Jermell Charlo would be a sick card. I don't know the logistics of if it will happen, but it's just crazy to see a lot of people dumping and blaming Jake Paul. Like, I just feel a lot of people have ulterior motives in the world of boxing, and there's a lot of deflections in the world of boxing, right? Where people are blaming what's going on in boxing on Jake Paul. But what about Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury? They could and should be fighting, but according to Eddie Hearn, they're fighting, but it's taking forever to hear an outcome, to hear a date. You still have the Wilder arbitration. There's just a lot of isolated instances. So it's a real bad and lazy take for people who are just saying, hey, Jake Paul is the problem. Now, if you want to see Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley or whoever, see him up his competition, that's his own isolated thing. But you could tell there's a lot of people who are just salty because we have, I guess you could say, an outsider who's entering the realm of boxing. But at the end of the day, boxing fans and sports fans, real fickle. Like, you have CM Punk that went to the UFC and he looked horrible. I don't even think he won. So what's the difference? At least, like, my thing is this, and I'm not even trying to sound like I'm on Jake Paul's team or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I know people are gonna say stupid comments in the comment section, but my thing is this: CM Paul, he went, or I said CM Paul, CM Punk, he went to the UFC and embarrassed himself. Like, he looked horrible. Jake Paul, at the very least, from what I'm seeing, it looks like he's taking it seriously. He's calling out people like Conor McGregor, and he's at least disciplined himself. Like, he said he was moving from Cali to Miami or whatever to focus more on the boxing thing. He's coming up, showing up in shape. Ben Askren looked like a tub of lard at the weigh-in. You know what I mean? So we can't really be that hard on Jake Paul. Like, at the end of the day, if you want to see him lose, then, oh wow, that looked crazy. If you want to see him lose, I guess you have to keep watching. But at the end of the day, more often than not, he's just doing the stuff he says he's gonna do, and it looks like he's taking it serious. So it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think. That looked crazy. Oh, that's when he said he broke his nose. Let me know what you guys think. A lot of people pressed about Jake Paul. It is what it is. He's in the sport. He's doing his thing. He's allegedly doing numbers. I really don't have nothing else to say. But I just want to let you guys know the little dialogue between Jermell, Charlo, and Jake Paul. Also, use my link in the description to sign up for TUBEBUDDY. TUBEBUDDY is an awesome browser extension to help take your YouTube channel to the next level. I use it for videos like this, and all my videos start off at 0 subscribers. We're over 200,000 and counting. Let's get it cracking. But boxing got to do better and try better with in-house problems, and then we can start. Like, you have to look at your own lawn before you judge your neighbor's lawn. You get what I'm saying, right? Jake Paul, he just came in, he doing his thing. He got some real boxing people behind him. Leon Love, and I don't know what this is. That's hella funny though. Leon Love and BJ Flores and stuff, and he's having fun with it. He's disciplining himself. That's not the issue. What about all the premature stoppages? What about judges in boxing that put up BS horrible scorecards and then they continue to get jobs? To me, I would rather them out of listen, I would rather have those weirdo judges, these weird ass judges that put up these crazy 117, 11, 111 maniac scorecards that no one in the world of boxing or no one who watched that particular fight, right, can understand and agree with. I want them out the sport more than I want Jake Paul out the sport. What are we talking about? Boxing, some of the people in boxing, they got a lot of lazy takes. Not everyone can do this. And a lot of y'all getting lazy and, just regurgitating the same stuff. Let's get some of these weirdo judges out of the sport that are actually ruining the outcomes of fights. And let me remind you that Ivan Redcash, who's a true fighter, we watched him on Showtime. We watched him, beat Devin Alexander. He's had the worst fight on the Triller card because of how he went out. He went out like on some sucker stuff versus Regis Prograis, and he's the pro boxer. Jake Paul, he made, as a boxing reporter, he made my job easy. All I had to do was one round. He did what he was supposed to do. Young, stronger, did what he said he was gonna do, and blasted his man out of there. And my job was easy. Ivan Redcash and Oscar De La Hoya, they was the pro boxers that made the whole telecast look weird. So what are we talking about? See, that's what I'm saying. I'm about to go off on y'all. Tell me Oscar De La Hoya's commentary, his drunken commentary or whatever he was doing, didn't make boxing look bad, or he's supposed to be fighting in a month or so, in a couple of months. Ivan Redcash acting like he got hit low because he didn't want to get knocked out by Regis Prograis. Those are the pro boxers or former fighters or whatever. And then y'all mad at Jake Paul? Stop it. Let me know what you guys think of my video we working. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.